Please stand for the invitation and pledge allegiance. As we just celebrate Thanksgiving and all the blessings that you have given us, help us not just do it one day a year, but 365 days a year, to remember the blessings that you have bestowed on each of us individually and collectively, on this nation, on the state, and this county. We pray that you will grant us wisdom and discernment today as we go about the county's business, and that we make decisions that will be best for all citizens of the county. All these things we ask in thy name, and what I say. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the County Commissioners for December 7, 2019 to order. I'll turn it over to our county manager for the selection of the chair and vice chair.
Good morning. I'd like to take a moment because I have been asked recently by citizens about the role of, or the responsibility of the commissioner and board chair. And as you know, my one does begin today, so if anyone is watching the video, this is also a good reminder for anyone who's considering running. The board chair serves as the presiding officer, votes on measures before the board, and calls special meetings, declare state of emergencies, use the authority to direct persons who disrupt the meeting to leave, and assume other duties conferred by the Board of Commissioners. And this is spelled out in General Statute 153A-39. And I've got a sheet I'll pass out. I see some of you writing. The Commissioners, under 153A-76, they create, change, abolish, and consolidate county government, change the composition and manner of selection of boards, commissions, and agencies, promote orderly and efficient administration of county affairs, but may not abolish what is required by law, take action specifically forbidden by law, stop or reassign a function or duty assigned by law, or change the composition or selection of the local Board of Education, Board of Health, Board of Social Services, Board of Elections, or the Board of Alcoholic Beverage Control. And this was compiled by the School of Government. So I noticed a few were writing. At this time, I would like to open the floor for nominations for chair.
Madam Chairman, acting chairman, I'd like to make a motion to have Bill Hopper continue as chairman of the board of commissioners.
There's a motion for Linda Hoffler to be chair. Is there a second? Are there any other nominations?
Madam County Manager, I'd like to make a motion that Commissioner Freeman be appointed chair. Second.
Okay. Are there any other nominations for chair? Okay. All those in favor of Commissioner Freeman being chair, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Now we're looking for a nomination for vice chair.
Madam County Manager, I make a motion that Commissioner Owens remain as vice chair.
I'll second the motion, Madam Chairman.
Is there any other nominations? Okay, all in favor of Jack Owens being vice chair, say aye. Opposed? Okay. We'll take a moment so that we can rearrange.
Congratulations.
Madam County Manager,
Yeah.
Commissioner Hopper will serve as chair.
December 14th.
First, I would certainly like to thank Ms. Hoffman, Linda, for her service for, I don't know how many years. I thought 8, but evidently it's longer than that.
No, since 14, December 14th.
Since 14, that's
I have been on the board for 8 years.
Seems like it's been at least that long. So certainly a good job. This changing the seats doesn't have anything to, I want everybody to realize that doesn't have anything to do with whether or not they're serving in a good capacity. It certainly, it's just a matter that this happens and things do change as far as leadership from degree to degree. And during that period of time, we all recognize we're all equal. So just because one sits in one seat, one sits in another, doesn't mean we still operate as your team in the intergovernmental procedures for Gates County. I do want to say that since the county manager brought it up, is how we operate as a government is certainly the county manager is responsible for managing the county. However, the county manager does work for the board, and so do the rest of the employees there. Departments are all in the county manager and her operation, so sometimes that gets perceived in different ways, and we get telephone calls specifically about that as to how the government's run. I'm glad the county manager took the time to give that as a proceeding, but also we want to make it known that exactly how it does work. So if you have any questions, call us, we'll try to find an answer. So, again, thank you, Ms. Hoffman, for your leadership and for serving as our chairman for some period of time. So, now the approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion? Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes for what I have here is 23 October? Has everyone had an opportunity to review those minutes?
I understand from the county manager that there was a correction.
There was,
email.
yes, Commissioner Jones sent corrections. There were basically a few typos that were sent last night.
And I read those, Commissioner Owens,
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion, we approve all of the minutes as amended with the county clerk.
Second.
all in favor, that's for 23 October as well as 6 November.
November 18th.
Okay. All in favor of the approval of those minutes?
Aye.
Approved. Any adjustments on the agenda?
Yes, sir. And I'm waiting on the email to provide more information, but under new business number 10, retiree pharmacy plan. It's just something that came in late Wednesday evening. It was brought to my attention this morning, so once I get the email with all the details, that will need to be discussed.
So we're adding number 10, retiree plan.
Pharmacy, yes,
Plan.
sir.
Any other adjustments? Or additions?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the agenda as
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Delegations?
There's nothing to sign.
Any announced delegations? No, unannounced. Administrative reports, first of all, the county manager's report.
This is for October 26th through November the 20th. Work continues on the bathrooms at the courthouse. Damages in the courthouse were filed against the Graves Construction Insurance. The carpet in the judge's chambers was cleaned after consultation with the clerk of court. Ceiling tiles are being replaced. On October the 29th, Timmy Hitchcock and I met with several DOT representatives to discuss the cutting of roads and repairs where there are leaks. DOT is now requiring the roads to be patched to DOT specifications at the county's expense. On November 5th, Chair Hoffler and I attended the quarterly Albemarle Commission Manager and Chair meeting in Hertford. Dr. Scott Curtis with ECU made a presentation on preparing for, responding to, and mitigating compound coastal water hazards for resilient rural communities. On November the 8th, Helen Muir and I participated in a webinar from North Carolina A&T University, which discussed a new salary sharing plan. Gates County will be requested to fund the A&T position at 50% beginning in fiscal year 21. The salary increase without benefits will be $2,002. On November 13th, J.C. Keesey met to review annual statistics. Alternatives for Youth and Genesis applied for and received additional funding that was received for Raise the Age. Additional programming will be provided by both programs for youth between the ages 16 and 18. On November 19th, one Gates County High School senior job shadowed several departments as part of the Job Shadowing Day sponsored by the Gates County Chamber of Commerce and Gates County Public Schools. Last Tuesday, Dr. Williams and I met briefly to discuss the dental office and the community center. He said that he would like to look at the the dental office, and he would like to tour that at 9 a.m. on the 10th with myself and our board chair, his board chair, and head of his maintenance department. Following that, he would like to discuss the community center in more details to find out what would be the plan for the county and the process that we would go about if the county took it back under our responsibility versus if it's under their responsibility as well as staff. I would also like to confirm that Linda Hoffler is the only commissioner who will be participating in the parade on the 14th. Is that correct? Okay. And the Christmas lunch is the 13th, and in the past, the commissioners have purchased main meat for the meal. I need to know if the commissioners would like to do that again this year.
I'm certainly in favor of it.
I'll make a motion that we furnish the meats.
Second. All in favor of furnishing the meat for the dinner? Aye. Any opposed, like sign? Hearing none. So the meeting's finished.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair, if I may, ask the county manager
Yes, sir.
if possible. Crystal is not in here today. Last meeting, we were notified of some issues at the courthouse. Is there an update on that? That's not in her report.
The report was turned in before that. They're still working. They did the dye test, best way to pilot, and they did not find an issue, so they are still looking to try to figure out what the problem is. And I've not talked to her this morning, so I don't know if it's had to be pumped again. I'm not sure how much it rained this weekend. I was not here, but as of last Tuesday, they had not had to pump it again.
Is that a road issue?
No, it's that the septic tank within 2 to 3 days had filled up and had to be pumped twice within a week.
And if I remember hearing last time, it appeared there might be some leaks leaking into the system itself.
That's what they were thinking, but there's not any cracks in the septic tank itself. That has been determined.
You said there's a meeting next Tuesday instead of 9 AM?
No, that's for the
Yeah,
chair,
that's all we need.
the chair and both boards.
Do we want to set a timeline? Maybe a potential transfer date?
They're having a meeting tomorrow, so based on our discussion, it needs to wait till after their meeting tomorrow and our meeting next week.
Are we able to set a date already? Can we set looking forward to a time, say April?
They have to discuss the community center tomorrow in more detail. Because they have a meeting tomorrow.
It's basically, their board could decide tomorrow that they're not interested.
You're right.
Themselves. Or they have to.
You're right, I mean, that would, so that's why I say just wait and see what they do and then what the discussion is next week.
So we'll know at our January meeting,
Correct.
potential plan of action, timeline.
Right.
And speaking of the courthouse too, and you reflecting to the insurance that you talked to the insurance company, they giving us any heads up on what their responsibility or how much they make?
We've already received the money.
We have.
Yes, that's why that was in there. They've already, that's why they were, it's supposed to be on file, but we received the money and the carpet was cleaned and we received all the money that we requested.
The clerk's office, did their issue get fixed? Do you
There
know?
was nothing filed against the clerk's office.
That was the other one, that copy of it.
All right, finance and tax.
Tax office is preparing their end of month report. As you know, it is the second, so they do not have their tax report ready. But before you do have a list, and I don't have it, so I'm gonna make sure. Okay, a list of refunds, and these are all from mortgage companies. And they can be done all at one time, because they're all overpayments.
And all the, okay, so the payments that could have been paid once.
Yes.
I have a motion that we authorize the refunds to these tax citizens.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor of the reimbursement for the refunds, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? Three done. Personnel report.
It's in your packet.
It was 3 new hires.
Yes.
Any questions, comments, concerns about in reference to the personnel report?
I have none.
Departmental reports.
Customer service does
Customer
have
service. Yes, ma'am. You want to present that?
Yes, okay.
Thank you, Brenda, for your years of service. Congratulations, Chairperson. We wish you many years of service too.
We need it.
Yes, just by happenstance, I came across this customer's account that had a very large balance. And after reviewing it, I contacted the customer because there were months that she was sending in multiple payments. She's a senior citizen. She's managing her own affairs. And when I called her, her caretaker answered the phone. And she preferred not to put me through to the customer because she would get agitated. So she had the customer's daughter to call me. The daughter was not aware this was going on. And the daughter had been trying to assist the mother in her financial affairs. And so my suggestion was that we refund this amount to the customer, but have it mailed to the daughter. And so she could discuss it and hopefully be able to help the mother manage her affairs. Because at this amount, she would have 3 years' worth of payments credit into her account. And she may not be here in 3 years. And so that's my suggestion, just to have this money released. And of course, when it's over $100, the board has to approve the refund.
That divulging who the client is or the customer is, the dollar amount?
It's $500.
And that's still left over $100 in her account. And since that time I had discussed it with the daughter, the mother continued to send in payments.
If, you know,
Does the door have, go ahead.
I look at the verbiage of who the check's for and where mailing it. We're making the check payable to
The
the
customer,
mother. Okay, it just
yes,
sends
as
it to
I
the daughter.
said, payable to the customer, but mailing it to the daughter, so she can discuss it with the mother, because the customer would not be aware while she's receiving this.
Yeah.
That's what our main concern was, that it's going to the mother.
Yes,
She, I assume has maybe our attorney.
yes, yes, that's correct. Anyway, with your approval, we'll be making that refund.
I mentioned, make a motion, we'll approve the refund.
Second.
All in favor? All aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign?
Thank you.
Ma'am, thank you for recognizing and realizing what should be done. Any articles of interest?
Yeah, but I do have a calendar item that, from the Albemarle Regional Health Services, Tuesday, December the 3rd, at Elizabeth C. State University from 12 to 3. They are having a World AIDS Day event. The theme is HIV, ending the epidemic, and it's free and open to the public. Art expo, education, and entertainment, refreshments, and HIV testing.
I was going to save this to my comments, but several people always ask us about potholes, and I think we have it on our website. There is a place where you can phone in DOT to report potholes on your streets or roads in the county. Be sure to look at our website to get that, and so that you can report it. It won't get fixed unless you report it.
Any other articles of interest? And the county calendar, Madam Manager.
It's included in your packet,
Is there anything we need to make the county aware of?
the closings are the 24th, 25th, and 26th, and then January 1st.
And the Christmas parade, 14th of December?
Correct.
Is the courthouse across the street going to be open?
I've not followed up with that this morning to see if it's cleaned up enough to allow people to come in. Because last week it was, with the bathroom construction, it was still kind of a mess.
Madam Chairman, does that, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, does that have, the deadline for tax payments on the calendar?
No, sir, that's on January's calendar.
Okay. I think these citizens need to be aware that tax statements went out on, as early as September, but the deadline for payment is January 5th. We need to make sure that information is
is.
Yeah.
Hey, what Mr. Jordan said, we make sure we pass the word, get the word out.
We will.
Thank you, Commissioner Jordan. And under old business, personal orders discussion. The reason that's on the calendar as well, on the agenda, is that the personnel ordinance, the map study was put on, if you will, it was tabled. And in many discussions I've heard, both from our commissioners as well as from the administration, is that that was voted down. That's incorrect. It was certainly tabled to be brought up in June and July, so it was not voted down.
But it was not, may I ask, it was, a motion was made, not second, so it died.
Correct, so no action was taken,
No action was taken.
and that's what the minutes reflect.
So what we want to do is bring that back up and discuss that, because we did not, we were not against the personnel ordinance discussion. Personnel ordinance itself. We were actually, there were some things in there that needed to be addressed, such as getting rid of the personnel board and only having one person on the personnel. Anything else that we want to discuss as pertaining to that, or we'll bring that up in January?
I think January would be a good time to bring that up for further discussion, give us opportunity to look back at it.
Okay, so to be clear, that in January, you just want it on the agenda again, and you're gonna decide what you would like to add, and then it will go to the committee to review.
If that would be the protocol.
I mean, that's up to you. A committee had already reviewed it, and it came to you. So I've already made the committee aware that it might be coming back to them. Actions.
Well, I think there were no more than three, if I remember what I had highlighted in it. There were no more than three, maybe just 2 points of discussion at that time. So if there's 2 or 3, I would say that we let the board discuss it and resolve it without it going back to the committee. I think the committee had done a good job.
And I will ask them to be here because they can probably explain some of their thoughts behind some of that as well. Would you mind going ahead and share it, or are you going to do all of that in the January meeting?
I don't have
Okay.
my notes with me.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I would ask that you put on the agenda for discussion and a vote if we get that far in the January meeting.
Actually,
Do we have to publicize the public
Yes, you
hearing?
have to have a public hearing, so you can't vote on it in January.
Mr. Chair, go ahead.
The personnel board normally consists of the chairman, well, the commissioner, the county manager, and who else?
That was all.
So you only have 2 commissioners there. You can't have 3 that would constitute a meeting. So I wonder why we want to change it.
You're talking about personnel board, not, we're talking about personnel,
Right, but what he's,
what you're saying is change the makeup of the personnel board.
no, sir, I think there's a confusion. Commissioner Jordan, the personnel policy that was recommended by MAPS did not have a personnel board. But what you are correct, the personnel board was the chair and one other appointed commissioner and the county manager who served. But the personnel board does not have authority over the sheriff's office, sheriff's office, register of deeds, board of election, DSS, soil and water.
Where's the makeup of the personnel board? Is there,
It's on it's an addendum to it's the last section of the personnel ordinance. That is not, we did not include the personnel ordinance, that had been given to you back in May, I believe, as well. But it's the last section of the personnel ordinance, which explains how the personnel board is made up. It's the last section. But at the very beginning, it explained it explains in both the ordinance and the policy what sections apply to which departments. And the ones I named are not under the direction of the Board of Commissioners, and that is why the Personnel Board does not have any authority over them. They are all hired by the sheriff himself, the Register of Deeds herself, Board of Elections, the DSS Board, or Soil and Water Board.
County Manager, if I may, any change to the personnel ordinance, any change at all would require public hearing, is that correct?
Correct.
Well, I think when we set that board up, I think Becky Chapel was provided to give the employees an opportunity to bring to the board the issues that they thought were important and that they could not handle within the department. And I think that we set that up when Toby was here. There was an outlet for the county employees.
So you, Madam County Manager, you're saying the grievance procedure and adverse action appeals the last, no,
In the personnel ordinance, do you have the ordinance or do you have the policy?
I've got one that says.
He has the policy.
That's the
Policy.
policy.
The
The
ordinance.
ordinance is where it, in the last section,
By now.
and I can send that to you again after the meeting.
It's on the website too.
And to make it perfectly clear on some portion that we discussed back during the budget hearings, is that we did not want to put all that on the county manager, that she would be the only one in charge of the personnel board, if you would, simply because it would put all the detrimental things in her lap. It would be fair to her in those respects. Any other discussion as pertains to that? If not, the appointment to the EMS board. Do I hear any nominations?
Okay, I think we have, what, two?
I think there's some other.
Do we want to take these one at a time, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, there's two openings, is that right?
Yes.
Can you appoint them at the same time? Since there's two applications?
That's,
That would be.
that's up
This
to
is
y'all.
really one and really later.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we appoint Mr. Lilly and Mr. Morgan back to the EMS board.
Are there any other motions, nominations?
I'll make a motion that the nominations be closed.
I have a question
Yes, ma'am.
on Mr. Morgan's, he has, checked off two places, or X two places,
Those are two different boards.
so
This
we'll,
is for the Emergency Medical Services Board.
okay, so that should not have been X.
Well, it could have been, but that's not what this is the application for.
Okay. But we'll only reappoint him to the EMS.
Correct.
So the motion is for Mr. Lilly, can I have a second?
I made a motion that the
Close.
appointments be closed.
I'll second that we appoint Mr. Lilly and Mr. Morgan.
Is there any other motions? If not? If not, take a vote on the EMS board. Do we hear anything from you? Any discussion at all? If not, all in favor? With an aye? Any opposed, like sign? passes. Mr. Lilly and Mr. Moore. Our appointment to the Trailer Board.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we appoint Ms. Powell to the trailer board.
And that's Donna Powell
Yes, sir.
from DSS. Any other motion?
I'll second the motion.
Motion and a second to appoint Ms. Powell, Donna Powell from DSS to the Trillium Board. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? Appointment is made. Donna Powell. The surplus request.
This is for a 2013 Ford conversion van from Getz. It's in fair condition and has had transmission issues, and it is recommended to be sold for a minimum of $3,000.
I make a motion to approve this request.
Second.
And is that also go?
It'll go on Gov Deals.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? Hearing none. 2013 Getz vehicle will be advertised on gov.gov. Number 9, Sheriff's Office request for grant promotions,
I had thought someone from the sheriff, I knew they have court, but I had thought someone was from the sheriff's office was gonna be here. They, according to their email and the discussion, they would like to promote 2 people. They have the authority to promote, however, they do not have the funds to promote within their salary line. They are requesting that 2 promotions take place, and they are proposing that the money be moved from a couple of different line items depending on if you approve the budget, or approve this promotion consideration. They will bring the actual budget amendment before you in January because they do not want the promotions to take place until January. They are currently, it would be an increase of for fiscal year 20. It would be an increase of $9,982.54. They would be starting it in January, so the cost for this year would actually be $4,991.27 for salaries and benefits.
These motions do not consider taking on additional responsibilities. So I have in point training, it is just an increase in their requested.
They are additional responsibilities. A sergeant will be promoted to a lieutenant, and a deputy will then be promoted to the rank of sergeant.
Well, will their duty change?
They will have additional duties. Commissioner Chair Freeman could probably explain a little bit more about how the duties will change, since he is a member of that office. Do you mind addressing that? Because I can't answer that question.
Yes, Madam County Manager, and also let me say why probably no one's here. We have 148 cases on the docket in the courtroom today. So chances of someone being able to get over here in time. Probably not that. So,
They might be there till tomorrow.
absolutely. And the judge was not here at 1000 hours, so it may run a little late. The promotion to lieutenant is for the shifts. Now, because of the personnel, they need a shift lieutenant to handle both sergeants and the shifts that work 24 hours a day. So each 12-hour shift would be split, and the lieutenant would be in charge of not only the personnel there, but also their reports and getting those reports to the citizens in a timely manner. And filling in when any one of those shifts are not able to be on that shift, such as a death in the family or any medical emergency.
is, that will give us, if we approve this, this will add, this is one, then we'll have a total. I mean, what will be our total number of lieutenants?
One lieutenant.
So this isn't, sorry.
No, go ahead.
So we haven't lost anybody. Nobody's left, we're not promoting people from within.
Yes, they are promoting from within.
That's what we're
Right.
promoting from within, but not because someone left, we're just,
In addition, it's not an addition, it is promoted. Yes, sir.
do we know according to the sheriff's email, they found the monies from several line items to pay for this fiscal year. Do we know what those line items are?
He had indicated it was gonna be vehicle expenses, or, he didn't talk to you, okay, that's one of the lines he had indicated. Because right now, there were, as of the other week, I believe they were below 50% on that line. But we talked, and that's why he wanted to do this today, and then if something changed between now and the end of December, when he does the budget amendment, he had identified another line.
So do we want to wait till our night meeting in January?
No, excuse me, you had agreed to only have one meeting in
Yeah,
January.
it's not, yeah, I wanted it at night.
Well, it is not,
Yeah,
it is,
yeah, night
it's
meeting,
one
yeah.
meeting, I want to
Okay,
clarify for everybody. I want to clarify for everybody that it is night, but it's only one meeting.
Our night meeting, our only meeting in
Right.
January, which will be at night, do we want to wait till then? His email says that, well, you even said it would take that till January, our meeting is the 6th or so.
Correct.
I mean,
Well, I would, if he wants this to be effective in January, right?
Well, payroll preference is January 11th.
so if we made a decision on January the 6th, there's still time for finance to process it, and put you in a bind. But
No, because payroll will be for December and January, so if we're making it effective for January pay.
Well, if our goal is to approve it, and it's not going to take effect until sometime in January, sounds like the 11th, we still don't want to burden the sheriff with wondering whether we are or not. And we can go ahead and be planning. You know, from hearing Commissioner Freeman speak, probably some juggling these two people's schedules, like some day hours to some night hours, I heard you say shifts, and they could be going ahead and adjusting their family life and things like that. County Manager, I don't want to put you on the spot necessarily, but they're finding the money within their department.
Correct.
But we are have been talking about being tight on our budget. And we already know there's going to be a $10,000 increase going
At
forward.
least.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just sort of, not trying to put you on the spot, I'm just making that known here. Because we sort of promised ourselves that we were gonna, and I sent an email out, as y'all all well remember that, I said, when I'm making a monetary decision, I'm gonna have some bullet points out there why I'm making that decision. I do believe it's something that we need to do, management within the department. I've heard Commissioner Freeman talk about the need for that.
I know the sheriff has stated that our salaries are a lot less than surrounding areas. I know there's one town in the area that advertises that their starting salary looks like it's more than what we're looking at increasing. But if I may, Mr. Chair, to put you on the spot, instead of Commissioner Owens putting the county manager on the spot, since
I yield to you.
that's okay, I'll go back. What are your thoughts on this, since you're more familiar with this than the rest of us?
Well, it is, and it's always such a decision in government with salaries increases, but also when you train individuals to be in that particular department, and they excel and have that training experience that is certified. And someone like a hospital, you know what you're talking about, they're starting folks out at 42,000, and I'm getting calls from other people who, as a reference for them to have that job from other departments. And so they're lining up right away. We're not even close to that as a starting salary. So we don't want to lose people. We want to keep people that are not only familiar with Gates County, but also have some roots and some anchors in Gates County.
The sheriff did, one of his closing things was to retain good quality people. And that's what stuck out to me. He thinks that he's got good quality people and wants to keep them. And I admire what they do every day and night.
And I will say I did ask for a point of clarification when I saw the titles. So there are additional responsibilities, but they will still be out patrolling.
I think we should go ahead and make a decision so that he can plan. And yes, and he can carry, he has money in his budget this year, he can move around. The question in my mind is next year, because the budget's still going to be tight.
So we would need to make a motion for the sheriff to proceed, is that correct?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Our motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, have a vote. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign?
I have a question.
Okay?
How many people have we lost in other counties as a result of, taking over because of the training that we have, given them in their experience? How many have we lost in the last 2 years?
In the last 1 to 2 years, I don't know of any. They've lost them for other reasons. Before that, there were what, 2 or 3 that went elsewhere?
Yes, and we lost Garrett.
That's right, we lost one
We
then.
lost one, with a lot of experience. Ronnie Taylor, but he wasn't full-time, was he?
Yeah, well, he was back and forth. I really was on him.
Only one commissioner, George, that I can name off the top of my head.
I think we need to be aware that, we're stepping out on something new. And it really hasn't happened to us yet. And we're spending extra dollars to try to make it happen. Recognizing that we do have to look ahead. But right now, we're not in a great position to do that. Well, funding standpoint of view.
I would like, if we're finished, I would like a 5-minute recess call, Brucey, because she's not sent me the email that I need to better explain everything to you. For the
Yes, ma'am.
Army plan.
5-minute recess, and then we'll be back in 6 minutes. All right, we're back in order. There's a motion on the floor. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign? Hearing none?
County Manager, Chairman, I'd like to put a record to show that that was a unanimous vote in favor of that motion.
The record will reflect that it was a unanimous vote. All right, number 10 was the add-on for the retiree pharmacy plan.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I went to try to find out some more information, but no, insurance representative from Blue Cross Blue Shield has not returned the phone call. A retiree, as you know, once they go, they have a prescription plan. And this employee is going to the prescription plan, they're coming off our regular insurance. And there's the prescription plan that's currently provided by the county will not cover a prescription that the person takes. And Blue Cross Blue Shield has called, not the former employee, but the Blue Cross Blue Shield has called to ask, is it possible to change plans to a prescription plan that will cover the medicine? Unfortunately, that is still all the information we have. We do not know if it would be a cost increase, if it would be a cost decrease, or anything like that. The person is supposed to come off our insurance and go to the other insurance in January. So I was just asked to bring this before you. It is kind of an odd request since you can't really take any action and you don't want to consider any changes to anyone's prescription plans. You want to consider it just for one person. But of course, you have no cost.
Well, I would think it'd be difficult for us to have separate plans. I mean, that would get, and where are you going to draw the line?
And this is for retiree.
For a retiree.
And how many retirees are still on the plan?
That are
Yes.
on the pharmacy plan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think right now, or, no, there'll be 8, if I remember correctly. She has on it, and then there's another one.
If the all plan, how much it was costing, but she didn't change one to change all or not?
I think this is one of those, this has been run by HR.
This was the phone call that came to Christie since she handles the insurance, and that's pretty much what she was told.
I think when you're talking about insurance, you're talking about a group, and you start specializing or singling out an individual, I think you're opening up Pandora's box. I think we don't need to do that, would be my take on it. And also set precedents for the future, and I think it would complicate things, would be my take.
And that was something we had discussed, but I wanted to run it by you in case when Blue Cross Blue Shield does call back, if they say for the next year, these are of course, between now and January, when they're, not just this person goes on, but their insurance plans, all the prices change in January for the pharmacy plans as well. If they send us something, we can tell them, send us something way before January, and it can be reviewed for our new budget year if there are plans that you want to change for pharmaceutical plans for the retirees, to see if it covers more than what the current plan covers. And if so, at what rate increase?
I assume this retiree is not eligible for Medicare.
This person will be in January. That is why they're going on this, because it's a pharmacy plan.
But with Medicare, you have a prescription plan.
I'm just telling you
I
what was conveyed to us
And the open enrollment,
is right now.
Yeah, from that to the 31st.
yes. Ms. Atkins, does anyone have an opportunity to talk with you about this? No.
Now, this just came to me at 8 o'clock this morning, or 8:30 this morning.
Well, Medicare does have a prescription plan, and you choose which
Right.
one you want, and that employee would choose that would not deal with the county,
That's outside.
that's outside.
Are you needing a motion on this, or?
No, if you decide you don't want to take any action, you don't have to take any action, and it dies.
I believe my earlier statement is what I remain, my thinking would be, I don't think you should take any action on it.
So that'll be a motion not to take any action.
County manager,
That can be your motion.
I make that motion.
So it's clear that
second.
in a second from Mr.
second?
Yes.
All in favor of not taking any action as pertaining to the retiree pharmacy plan? Say aye.
And say aye.
Any opposed, like sign? Hearing none. That is dropped from the discussion. Motion carried. Any other new business? If not, any citizens' comments?
Yes, sir, I forgot to read one, and I apologize. This is from Anthony Belton. Good morning, and I hope everyone had an awesome Thanksgiving holiday. I do have one comment and question this morning. There was a mention about Swamp Fest in one of the videos I watched. Commissioner Jones, having this event started again would be nice. Is there a committee made or being made?
You can see
And that was the only comment. Yes, sir. But
Commissioner Jones, did you want to respond?
It's a citizen comment, so we
Okay.
don't fix it on that.
Yeah, as a general rule, we don't respond to issues.
I'm going to choose, when it's our turn, I'm going to choose to majority time.
that's the only one.
Is that
And there was no
all?
one side of that, yes.
All right. So no one signed up. Commissioners' comments? Start with Commissioner Jones.
Thank you, Commissioner Freeman. I think something's been said about Swamp Fest. I did want to mention in my commissioner comments, a group some folks did have a meeting at the community center a couple of weeks ago, looking at bringing that back as I talked about in our last meeting. I do know that they've got some things they're talking about. I know they're going to be set up, they're letting folks set up or encouraging folks that sell stuff to set up at Todd's Pharmacy, beside Todd's Pharmacy, the day of the parade from 1 to 3, to sell crafts and stuff. And I know the popcorn truck will be there. I don't know if they have cotton candy, I know that they have popcorn. So there's an update on the group that's looking at starting with a Swamp Fest type event again. Thank you to the citizens for coming. Thank you, Mr. Jordan, for bringing your better half today. It's always good to see you. And that's all I have. Mr. Freeman. Oh, yeah. This is our last meeting of the year, right? Hope everybody has a good Christmas. And we'll see you at our night meeting in January, our one meeting in January at night.
Mr. Hoffman.
Congratulations to you, Mr. Freeman. Your life has got a lot more, okay. Mine has got a lot more freer. I'm looking forward to this extra time. Thank everyone for coming. It's always nice to have a full board here so that we can have the wisdom of 5 people instead of 1, 2, or 3, or whatever. But it's nice always to have a full board. As we go forward, certainly remember the parade is in 2 weeks. Hopefully everyone will attend. I believe Mr. Smith is the Grand Marshal this year. Certainly well known in Caney. We appreciate the efforts of all the people who serve as Caney in volunteer positions. They are our unsung heroes. We couldn't do what we do in Caney without those people who volunteer their time and efforts to help make this a better place to live. And yes, it's hard to think it's Christmas. We just got finished with Thanksgiving, but Christmas is coming. So help us keep the spirit of Christmas in our hearts, not only during the day, but all through the year. Thank you.
Commissioner Wood.
I also would like to mention the parade that's upcoming in a couple of weeks. And one of the reasons is my good friend Ellie Smith is the Grand Marshal. And I want to encourage you to get your Gates County Index and read some of the things, or all the things, that Mr. Smith has done throughout the years for the county. It's certainly a life worth recognizing. His volunteerism goes back quite a few years. He and I go to church together, and I hold him in real Ms. Hopper and Joy sitting beside you on my right, Joy sitting beside you with you on my left.
My left arm's stronger than
Oh, is that right?
She almost hit you, Mom.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you for your service. You were a most committed chairwoman, always prepared, always thinking things out, and we appreciate your service. And correct, my gentleman to the right's life got a little bit more complicated. And anyway, Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Commissioner Jordan?
Yes, it's so good to be here today. It's a little difficult being here, but I think we'll be here to continue to serve. It's been about 12 years in this position, and I thank God for having the confidence in me all these years to be county commissioner. And I just like to say thank you to the board for trying to work together. Thank you, Mr. Harper, for your service as chairman. And Brother Freeman, I wish you the best, because it is my fun to that job. And the county manager, at the last meeting, I wanted more information about Sudbury School. To sit out with information that was hard for me to read. But we need to sell that project, get that ain't on by the wayside. Because there could be a lot of the county and the Sudbury. If it's just not the way we want to plan for it, we got. Everybody, I hope you have a nice Thanksgiving, and have a blessed Christmas. And have a good day.
Thank you, Commissioner Jordan. We're blessed to have you with us today, and certainly been blessed to have you on the board. Again, I certainly want to thank Commissioner Hopper, and I'll forever call her Chair Hopper, Madam Chairman, and all kind of other names. Not bad. Certainly want to address the Swamp Fest, and that has been talked about and has been addressed to the aspect of maybe changing the name to Farmers Day in Gates County. So there have been committees talking about this, and there have been funds addressed to that have been moved in place to have a function in Gates County event, and the venue being at the community center. So just wanted to bring that up while we were talking about it. And I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank my fellow commissioners for all their service and the time that they put in, for the thoughts that they put in, and the thoughts that they bring to the table here, and subsequently the decisions that they make. So thank you. Have a wonderful, blessed holiday coming up, and see you after December.
Next
Yeah,
motion.
there's a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
So moved. We stand adjourned. There's no closed session today. Thank you.